Welcome back. We're here with Rob Luck, digital media designer. Hi, Rob.
Hello, how you doing?
Welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Let's hear a little bit about you.
I used to have, actually I started out in web design, and then I'm passionate about filmmaking, so I moved on to a program they call digital media production, which is dealing with lighting and editing of movies and film.
Okay, great. And we have 3 pieces of work for you today. First of all, we're going to take a look at a trailer that you made, right? What is that called?
For Edgar Allan Poe's story, The Cask of Amontillado.
Okay.
It's just about a minute-and-a-half teaser trailer, just giving you some brief insight of what the movie's about.
All right. Thanks. Let's take a look.
I met my dear Fortunato at the carnival earlier that day. I remember telling him how remarkably well he looked. And I was on my way to see Lucchesi. Because if anyone had a critical turn, it was he. I would not impose upon his good nature. I perceived that he had an engagement. Nemo me, impune, resuscite.
All right. Thanks very much. Very, very cool. Tell us a little bit about this.
It's a story that Edgar Allan Poe wrote, and when I first read it, I fell in love with it instantly, which was about 2 years ago, and I decided, over the 2 years, I decided how to actually come up with the design and the look for the movie, and I made it a little more modern, not the traditional 1800s costume.
Right.
I brought it up to date a little bit more. Actually, I approached Andrew Pugliese, who was my partner in making the movie, who was also a friend, and I graduated with him. Him and I both came up with ideas for the film. We're able to come up with what we wanted to do for it, and it's just something that I've been very passionate about. But you actually saw that it was available December 2004.
Right,
but,
right. Did we miss it? What's going on?
Due to being busy with a lot of things going on in my life, I was able to achieve that date, but it will be coming out within the next year or 2 years.
All right, great. Is there a website associated with this that we can check out?
You can check out my website, which is www.robluck.com.
All right.
And you'll be able to check out all the trailer, and you'll check out all the other work that I've done.
Okay, excellent. And we're going to actually see another piece right now. This is a promo piece you did?
Actually, this is a interview piece that I did documentary style about the JFK assassination. I interviewed my mom. She was lucky enough she was able to do it for me. So we just did a little brief interview about describing what happened that day in the life of a 12-year-old girl.
Okay, great. Here it is for you.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
I was 11 years old when he was running for president, and I couldn't tell you what else I was doing at 11 years old other than being a normal kid, but I do remember staying up almost all night, election night. It was the first time that I was ever involved in any kind of politics like that. Because, 11 years old, it means nothing to you. In 1963, he'd already been president for a while. And day it happened, I was a sophomore in high school, taking some kind of tests. It was quiet because we were taking special kinds of exams, so all the nuns were walking around. And I remember the principal walking in and telling everybody to put their pencils down. And they made an announcement to the room and told all of us to go back to our homerooms, that we were being let out of school. We were all going home. I don't remember getting on the bus. I don't remember getting home. I just remember walking in the door and seeing my mom at the ironing board. And it was like a fixture in our house. And I remember when I walked in, the ironing board was up, the iron was on it, but she was sitting in front of the TV. It's hard to describe. It's quiet. It's like you don't want to make any noise. If you cry, you're crying to yourself, but you don't want to make any noise because it might make it real. It was just like being locked in a different time zone. You just couldn't believe it had happened. It's just like, wake up from a dream. So you sat glued to the TV for 3 days straight. I don't remember eating. I don't remember going to bed. I just remember watching the television. It hit me, and I began to understand more and more really what had happened as the years went by. The innocence was gone. The hope that an 11-year-old little girl had for good times and things to look forward to and things that were going to change, that were going to be better for people, and it just ended that day. I don't think we've ever been the same since. It was, I think, the end of innocence for this country. It was the end of trust in the government. It died that day with him. We have never, in all the years, in all the presidents that we've had since, never have we had the confidence or the trust in any of them that we had in Kennedy. Not one. They were young. He was the youngest president. They had a lot of ideas, but they also got almost everybody individually caught up in it. People were interested. People wanted to do. People wanted to be there. People wanted to help. And they killed them. And I think people got afraid to help anymore. What good does it do you? If a man that believes in the right thing to do, stands up for it, fights for it, talks about it, gets people involved with it, tries to make a better country, and whoever it is they are, they kill him for it, then it's like, what's the point? Politicians tell you, get involved with your congressman, your senator, your president. For what? I'm not saying that you should just give up. I'm just telling you, this is what it does to you. This is what it did to me.
And we're back after that. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful, very, very powerful piece.
Thank you.
Wow.
It was amazing shooting that. It was amazing. We got a half hour to an hour of footage. She just kept going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
It was very hard. It was hitting me there when we were doing it.
Yeah.
It was something very powerful, and I'm glad that she was able to do it for me. It was something that.
So you cut it down, you said, from about a half an hour to
It was
just
actually
5 minutes.
Yeah, it was actually about a half hour of footage, and I cut it down. The original first cut was 8 to 10 minutes, and then I cut it down even more to about 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still debating about cutting it down even more because it's a really long piece for broadcasting, but I'm happy with where it is right now.
Mm-hmm. It's very powerful, and I thought the images were beautiful too. Where did you find those?
She's got a bunch of different JFK books that have been published throughout the years, and I just went ahead and scanned some of them. Some of the more meaningful shots that I thought would have provoked some different moods during the interview, so I just used those.
It's a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for bringing it to us.
Thank you.
And now we're going to take a look at your final piece, and this is a promo.
This is a promo. This
right?
is the 30-second promo commercial for a bowling ball made by Ebonite.
All right, here we go. Okay, and here we have the bowling promo, and you shot this in a bowling alley.
Yeah, shot in a bowling alley. It was Wheaton Bowl over in Wheaton. They wouldn't let me bring in any camera, or they only let me bring in the camera equipment. They wouldn't let me bring in any lighting or anything, so I had to make do with what I had. But they did give me a bowling lane all the way at the end of the place, so I was able to have full control of where I wanted to put the camera. So I was able to come up with very creative shots.
Did you guys get like free shoe rentals for the guy who was bowling in the film?
The person that was actually in the film was me.
Oh, that was you bowling. Oh, what's your high score?
2.665.
Well, that's way better than me.
I didn't do that day though.
Oh man,
I really didn't do that good that day. I was just getting shots.
Good deal. Well, you can tell you got a strike in there. I had a 35 last week, so you might have to teach me.
You might need to have a little practice.
I think so too. That's great. Great promo. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show.
It was
Let's
great.
give us your website one more time.
It is www.robluck.com.
Robluck.com. Check it out. Thanks very much.
Thank you.